August 17th, 2025. It's Sunday. I'm going to take a ride down to New London. I'm in Norwich, Connecticut at the moment. I want to do New London today because I've never done it in super wide view. This is 2.7K. It's high resolution, but it's not super high resolution. It's high enough for... It's higher than the stuff you see on TV. If you have a high definition TV, you have 1080p. This is 2.7. This is a higher definition than you're watching on conventional TV, so it's going to be very high definition, but it's not 4K. My usual preferred extremely insanely high resolution, but it's the best I can do right now, and I'll take it with the camera that I have. But this is super wide. It's an insanely wide view, as like I'm going over the Yannick River right now, this bridge. You should be able to see traffic on the coming off the exit on the right, on the left, on the other side of the road, and the sky, let's see, some clouds. It's kind of hazy or whatever, but you should be able to see much higher in the sky and much further down towards the road. Okay, I am on 395 South right now, and I'm going to get off in Montville. I'm not going to take the highway. I'm not going to take 395 all the way to New London. I'm going to get off in Montville and drive down that way. But I just want to cover some of the major streets in New London, say Bank Street, Ocean Avenue, Pequot Avenue, whatever. I mean, I only have so much time, but I'll do what I can. But I want to grab this in SuperView. I mean, it's called SuperView with this particular camera. It is super wide. It is probably 16 millimeters wide. It's kind of windy today. You might hear some wind noise. I mean, I have a microphone that I'm speaking into right now that should mitigate some of that wind noise. Plus, I'm going to get off the highway. That tends to, when you drive on a highway like this, it has a tendency to be a droning, kind of a low-level hum from the road as I travel. The tires over the road and the wind buffeting against the car can be a little bit, I mean, you can hear me well, I realize that, but if I'm on a road where I'm going at a relatively high rate of speed, if I'm going slower, 40 miles per hour as opposed to speed limit 65, but I mean, use your imagination as to the speed I'm actually driving. When I get on one of those roads, for example, I'm going to be getting off in Montville up ahead, the next exit. You're going to hear, once I get completely off the exit onto a road that, 35, 40 miles per hour, you're going to hear a dramatic difference in the audio as far as a lot of the sound that is enveloping. I'm going to pass this guy. A lot of the sound that's enveloping the vehicle right now from the wind and the wheels against the pavement at a high rate of speed will diminish. So I'll be eliminating a lot of that sound by going slower. Now this ramp, you might be able to get a little taste of it, but it's really not going to, I mean, it's 35 miles an hour on this ramp, but it's realistically exit 9. This leads into Uncasville, Montville. So you can probably hear a slight diminution in the road noise or wind noise. But wait till we get to the other road, it'll be much... When I say sound, I'm talking about the narrative audio that I'm, the speaking word right now. The spoken word. In other words, me talking will be... It'll have less distracting elements in the background. As I pick up speed here, those distracting elements will increase. One good thing, I'm glad I have clouds in the sky today. I gotta slow down here. These people coming off this ramp are flying, so I gotta keep my eyes open. But you'll see that this SuperView should afford better, sky views. The last time I used SuperView was in Norwich as a test, and the sky was just straight up blue, and I was kind of, obviously hoping when I go out that I do have white puffy clouds, or complete overcast I prefer, but it is, to me, the sky's not as blue as it could be. It's either haze or maybe, again, potential Canadian smoke from the wildfires up there. Alright, so I'm going to get off this. Oh boy, red light. Sometimes can be a long one. There's no turn on red, so whatever. We'll just chill out here for a while and watch the cars go by. So there's brand new pavement directly in front of me. That's one layer. They're not done. They haven't, put the final layer on, but they've been working down here for quite a while on this road work. And yeah, you can see the trees directly in front of us. I mean, they probably seem way off in the distance with this super wide view, but it's very windy, very breezy. I mean, temperatures are comfortable, 79 degrees. Right now it's 1:31 p.m. And the sky is just the way I want it, except I wish it was bluer, but I think that... I'm going to guess, I haven't really looked at that Canadian smoke situation. They actually have forecasts. That's part of the forecast now. Alright, so I'm going up this hill. The sound should be better. Less distracting elements in the sound, because I'm going at a slower rate of speed, and I'm not on a highway flying at, whatever speed. Although, boy, you got to keep your eyes open for big, not potholes, but, manhole covers that are protruding significantly. But they're going to put another layer on. When they do the final layer, everything is going to be evened off. They painted temporary lines because these roads are very important. This particular road leads up to the casino, Mohegan Sun, and, among other things. It's kind of a main artery, but this is Norwich and London Turnpike, but these lines are temporary. They'll, I think, one more layer, and that'll be, paint the lines and you're done. So this is a massive project. And there's flags on the telephone poles to the right. So again, we're getting this... Wow, there's a wigwam festival up at the St. Bernard's High School up there. I think it's, one of the local tribes, and packed to the rafters. I mean, I've never seen so many cars up there. But anyways, this SuperView is going to give us, I mean, if we, one caveat is the camera could shut down due to overheating. SuperView puts tremendous pressure on the sensor, and the camera, as a protective measure, will just shut itself down rather than, you know, fry the sensor. This person in front of me is driving, or at least was, like very far to the right there. Yeah, let's continue down Norwich, New London Turnpike on this beautiful, buttery smooth pavement. Get into New London, drive around a little bit. Keep our fingers crossed that the SuperView heat that is the SuperView that's going to impose a lot of heat on this camera doesn't shut it down. I've been lucky. I haven't had any shutdowns, so. Herb's Country Deli restaurant to the left. Alan Alda once ate there with his daughter. Actor Alan Alda of MASH fame. There is a correctional facility down here on the right-hand side. I forget the name of it. Let me see if there's a sign out there. Well, no sign. No indication of the name. It just says State of Connecticut Department of Corrections. We're heading to New London. We're in Montville right now. This is a route that over the decades many people have taken scores and scores of times to get from Norwich to New London. And a lot of this area is built up over the years. If you haven't been down around these parts in the last, say, 35, 40 years, a lot of this stuff that you're seeing right now wasn't here back then. We're in a drought right now. It hasn't rained in a long time, and some of the heat has really put pressure on local rivers and streams and, you know, reservoirs and wells and, you know, things like lawns and plants and farm fields that would depend, you know, cornfields and things that would depend on rain. We haven't had any. And there's not anything in the forecast, anything significant in the forecast coming up. Brown Derby to my right. Legendary lounge and cafe, live music, dancing, food, you know, liquor. They must be doing something right. They've been there forever. I mean, I was 18. I remember being in that place. That's a while back. And it was there before, you know. Wow, according to this, we just passed into Waterfront. Sign back there. I gotta believe it. I mean, it's an official big green sign. Welcome to Waterfront, Connecticut. My Okay, the Liberty Bank says 82 degrees on my right. My car says 84, so it's in, you know, average amount. I mean, it's in the low 80s. As we cruise our way. This thing says Mohegan Avenue Extension, my GPS. As we proceed ever so close to New London, we're getting there. It is not far off. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta make a decision. Do I keep going through the yellow light or do I jam on the brakes? Why did I keep going? Well, I had momentum. To jam on the brakes at that juncture wouldn't make a lot of sense. Traffic is relatively light. Yeah, Mohegan Avenue. That's the name of the. I mean, that's what the. If this GPS is to be believed. And it's more overcast down here. I mean, the sun is out, but it's not as the clouds are obviously not as well defined as they were when I started out, at least at this juncture. I mean, that could change. So we're gonna cruise up the road a little bit more here, and on our right hand side, Conn College will be there. The Williams School. Coast Guard Academy will be to our left. It's going to be kind of interesting for me to edit this video, you know, being super wide, covering some of the major streets in New London. I mean, I can only do so much. New London has a lot of territory to cover if I really wanted to, you know, I mean, that would be a multi-hour endeavor. I'll do the major streets. Okay, so we're in New London right now, incorporated 1784, New London, Connecticut. Speed limit is 40. I'm doing 41 according to that device back there that measures your speed. So give folks out there in YouTube world kind of an idea of how fast I'm traveling. So that's 1 mile over the speed limit. Not bad. Connecticut College campus to the right. It's a beautiful campus. I used to go up there and kind of walk around. I mean, when COVID hit, they really ramped up security. See, there's a big sign to the right, Connecticut College. They ramped up security, or they I don't know about ramped it up, but they have more points of entry, and there's the Williams School to the right. They had more points of entry that you literally had to stop to pass through, and, you know, almost a gated situation. In the old days, that you could just, you can't see the Coast Guard Academy, by the way. It's to the left, all those trees, but it's over there. Maybe if I go around the curve here, you see that some of the buildings on the left there, that's the United States Coast Guard Academy. But Connecticut College is a little bit more tightly monitored now, in my opinion, from a security standpoint, with those gated areas. you know, it's a pass-through. You would go there and, I don't know. I mean, if you were visiting, you would say, I'm visiting somebody, and they would probably just wave you in. But I haven't been up there in a while because I have a camera mounted on my car, and if somebody, college ramps up security and somebody happens to be driving through the grounds with a camera mounted on the car, they're not going to let me in. They're just going to tell me, what's that? Why are you recording? And the whole 9 yards. I've been through it. They would just tell me to, take the camera off the vehicle or leave the grounds if you're going to insist on recording. So can't drive around Con College recording video. I mean, you probably could. I guess you could walk around and do it if you wanted to show the buildings and things. Maybe that's a night. Maybe I'll do that. But I did it once, trying to drive through there, got tossed out, and not going to do it again. Wouldn't make sense. So I'm driving into the city right now. I'm trying to think here. Let's see. How should I approach this? Bank Street is, one-way street. So I have to, I'll do that later. And my camera seems to be holding on right now. Some of the architecture in New London, if you've seen my other New London videos, I'm always raving about it. I encourage people to get down here, park, walk around, just look at the buildings. This on the left, that's probably it's definitely up there in the top 3, the Savings Bank of New London with the pillars and the just incredible architecture, design. You get Caruso music down here. Now it's a piano gallery. All right, red light. We got that beautiful whale painting mural to the right. I don't know, with the sun shining on it like that. You might not be able to see it too clearly. But I'm on Eugene O'Neill Drive right now. State Street if I took a left or a right, but I'm not going to do that right at the moment with my SuperView here. All right, pretty big speed bump right there. I happen to be a big fan of New London Down City. I love downtown New London. I like the whole city, to be honest with you. Let me keep my eyes open here. Okay, it's just a beautiful city. It really is. It's not a large city. It's a small city. You could walk up and down the Bank Street, and a lot of restaurants and art galleries and museums and all kind of really, really impressive places to visit down there. You could spend a few hours down there. State Street, another one. I mean, the beauty of the buildings, the old built in the 1800s, many of them. All right, I was temporarily on Bank Street, and now I am heading toward. I'm going to go down Pequot Avenue. This is Howard Street. I'm on Howard right now. I'll go down the length of Pequot Avenue. I got to get that with SuperView. Plenty of gas in the tank, so I'm not worried about that. And to the right, wow, a lot of geese, Canadian geese. To the right is that new, I believe they're apartments, or I don't know about condos. I think they're apartments. It's called The Beam. I recall that being constructed Every time I came down here, little by little, it was a vacant lot. Now it's a beautiful, I don't know how many apartments, but it looks like a lot. As I try to figure out, yeah, I'll take a left here. I'm going to get onto Pequot. Coast Guard, Fort Trumbull State Park is down here. It's a train bridge, small one directly above us. Wow, just briefly, I don't want to get too far off the beaten path here, but I mean, I got SuperView on here. This new London, I don't know if it's a rec center or it's huge. They just had the grand opening. I'm on Walbeck Street right now. Yeah, I'm in the heart of New London, Connecticut. New London, Connecticut Community Recreation Center. Yeah, that was constructed recently. That's Fort Trumbull right in front of us. Let me take a ride down here real quick and just see if I can point this camera at. It's on the left, but let me come around. See, I don't want to. I'm trying to stick to some of the highlights, but I just kind of want to grab some footage of this new building. I think people that haven't been, that don't live in New London anymore and haven't for many years, a lot of my viewers will probably enjoy seeing that. There's the water view. New London, the city of New London off in the distance. Okay, so there's this brick building was here. That's probably some, office building of some sort. But right there, that colorful building right there is the New London Community Recreation Center. It's supposed to be state-of-the-art. I mean, to the naked eye, it looks incredible. I've never been in it, but it looks absolutely beautiful. I'll just whip into Fort Trumbull for a nanosecond. See if I can point this thing over there. I mean, there's trees kind of blocking the view. In the distance, let me see if I can line it up right there. You can see, I mean, Pfizer is over there, electric boat is over there. And beyond those trees is Fort Trumbull. It's beautiful. If you haven't been there, you're missing out big time. You are missing out big time, but you can rectify that. You just jump in your car, get down here, take a look at it, take a walk around. That was East Street. I'm heading back towards Pequot Avenue. I am on Trumbull Street right now. Smith Street to my right. Used to be a neighborhood. It was completely demolished. They were supposed to build some, I don't know, it was a project. It was a major lawsuit. Went to the Supreme Court, whatever. You can look it up. And they never did anything with the property after all the trouble they went through. All right, I got a little rotary up here. It's going to put me out onto Pequot Avenue. Yep. There it is, Pequot Avenue. Boom, we're here. Eugene O'Neill homestead up here. I've done Pequot Avenue many times before. I have videos dedicated strictly to, wow, look at that speed bump. It's like a small hill. I have videos strictly dedicated to, let me pull into, I forget the name of this bar. It's been many bars over the years, but there it is. If you want to get a glance. Back on Pequot. But we've never done Pequot in SuperView. Super wide view. 16 millimeter equivalent. There's a nice beach to my left. Not a lot of people there today. I mean, there's a handful, but I mean, it's not... Well, I don't know. My thermometer says 88, so if it's 88, then it's windy. It's, yeah, I mean, whatever. I guess there's reasons that people aren't at that beach today. Because sometimes it's jammed. Got a gentleman on a bicycle right in front of me. Let me see if I can cruise by. And you have Burr's Marina to the left, and you have Harris Road to my right, and we have different restaurants. Of course, Fred Shanty to the left. That's a legendary establishment. Hot dogs, hamburgers, seafood. And Thames Street to my right. Harbor House condominiums back there, that building to my left. And I'm just going to cruise down Pequot Avenue right now. Pequot Avenue, in my humble opinion, needs to be repaved. This is a very important street in New London. A very historic street. There's the Thames Yacht Club back there to my left. This is a very historic, important, you know, scenic drive. And the road is not in the greatest condition. This I would put as a priority for New London to focus on. I'm not criticizing. I mean, I know the finances and things like that are difficult for a lot of towns and cities. I'm no criticism whatsoever, but I think they'll get to a Gardner Avenue back there to my right. A lot of sailboats out today. Makes sense with the breeze. Perfect day to go sailing. And we're going to go all the way to the end of Pequot, and I'll drive around, cover more, as much territory as I can within the confines of my schedule, my time frame. There's another private beach to the left. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful little beach. A lot of beaches coming up here on the left. They're private. I think you have to live around here. Maybe you pay an association fee, or I'm not positive how it works, but you can't, I mean, I can't park and just go to that beach. I live in Norwich. I'm not part of the association, so that's, you know, there are certain restrictions, let's put it that way. There's a beautiful lighthouse on the left, and there's a house there. I mean, it almost looks like a Frank Lloyd Wright style. I'm not saying it is, but that from that, you know, genre, that era, that, you know, architectural category. Yeah, a lot of cars. So this beach must be more crowded than the other ones back there. I can't see. There's a wall to the left and a lot of cars. I can't see over that wall as we cruise up Pequot Avenue. Lighthouse Inn is back there. Let's see. Lower Boulevard. And so many beautiful homes on Pequot Avenue. The three to the right are all brand new within the last 2 or 3 years. And the one straight ahead has been remodeled or redone top to bottom. It was falling apart right there on the right. So the new roof is up, the windows are in, the siding. I mean, they're still working on it. But boy, that's going to be a show place. So Pequot, this is the end. I've done the entire road. I'm going to take a right onto Neptune Avenue. Ocean Beach would be straight ahead. I'm not going to go onto the grounds of Ocean Beach. I would have to pay parking fees, and obviously I'm not going to do that. But let me take a right onto Ocean Avenue. Let me go up the length of Ocean. Again, in super wide view. The sole reason I am doing this video is to capture super wide view look at New London. Some of the bigger, more important, more well-known streets that people have traveled over their lives. Many of who do not live here and have not been here for years, decades, 40, if you haven't lived in New London for 40 years and you happen to live in Colorado right now and you haven't been back, I'm giving you a super wide view of streets I can pretty much guarantee you traveled on back in your younger days many, many times. You get your slate roofed, incredibly beautiful houses. I mean, each individually designed by architects, and Nathan Hale School over here to the right. A lot of really important, historically, significant structures and buildings and things in this area. Wow, there's a sign that says mobile axe throwing. I don't know what that means. Mobile axe throwing. Well, gonna keep cruising down Ocean Avenue. This camera is absorbing video data right now at a mind-blowing width and height and depth. It's a fixed focus camera. It doesn't have to focus. Everything is in focus from near to infinity. These cameras, these last, decade, I'd say the last decade, when these kind of miniature cameras where people, they dive, they, go skiing, they drive motorcycles, they put these cameras on. It's a marvel, it's a miracle, it's incredible. We take them for granted, but the fact that they exist is, and they operate at, conditions that, blizzards and guys surfing and anything you can think of. The fact that they capture crystal clear video, it's if I was a kid and somebody told me something like that would exist in the future, I don't know if I'd believe it or not. It's so easy, and they're not expensive. I have, let's see, Yale New Haven Health. I mean, it's L&M, Lawrence and Memorial Hospital on the right there. As I'm still on Ocean Avenue. And we'll just keep cruising. Cover as much territory as we can. But I mean, this right now, it's you should be absorbing an overwhelming amount of video coverage with this camera. And the fact that it's recording that right now, again, as I said, borders on the miraculous. Red light, Ocean Avenue. Let's see, if I turned right, what is that? Let's see if I can catch the name of that street. Willets Avenue. If I took a right or a left. There's a sign up ahead that says Groton, New Haven, Hartford. I'm sticking to New London today. Wayfarer Bicycle, legendary bike shop. If you want to buy a bike and you live anywhere in Connecticut, that's your guy. Ocean Pizza to the right. They've been there since I was a kid. Consistently good food. They'll never let you down. As we move closer to Bank Street. So that's going to end. Ocean Avenue will be coming to an end here real soon. Alright, so I'm at the end of Ocean. Shell gas station on my right. $3 for a gallon of regular gas. Cash. CVS Pharmacy to my left. It's been there for probably 10 years or maybe even longer. Time flies. But when I was younger, it wasn't there. I think there were homes. There were, conventional homes there. I believe the property was purchased. Homes were demolished, and obviously now you got the pharmacy there, CVS. As we patiently wait for the red light to turn green, we're going to cover some more territory. Everybody's at a standstill. It's not a problem. We're as patient as it gets. All right. Now, let me take, I'm going to take a right up Montauk. That's another important street. I'm on Bank temporarily. And I'm going to take a right onto Montauk Avenue. You got Shallot's Cleaners there. It's closed. It's boarded up. It says no trespassing, stay out. And there's a sign, it says shirt laundering, dry cleaning. And it's one of those neon signs. That would be a cool artifact to get. You know, if they were selling off a bunch of equipment. That would be cool. So now we're on Montauk Avenue. And we'll cruise up the road. And absorb and soak in this super wide Montauk Avenue vibe. This will get us to the other side of Lawrence Memorial Hospital. Coming up it'll be on the right. New London is a very bicycle-friendly town. They have very large bike lanes, if you like biking. Very generous bicycle lanes that have been there for a long time. 20, 25, 30 years as far as I can remember. As we approach Lawrence Memorial Hospital, that would be... There's a parking garage there to the right. So yeah, it's I'm not going to drive up on grounds. Security wouldn't be too happy if they saw me with a camera. I can stick to the main roads, but we got a red light. All right. So we're going over a bridge, and there's a train track below us. Harbor School to my left. I mean, that's what it says on the sign. The 1888, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That's an old brick school back there. Okay. I'm going to go all the way to the end of Montauk Avenue. Thames Street to my right. I mean, you know, I could cover some of the side streets, but that would be for another day. This is super wide view of one of the most common streets being Montauk, Ocean Ave, Bank Street. Michael's Dairy to my right back there. Probably the best ice cream you can get in the area. Buttonwood Farms and Michael's Dairy, I think, would be, you know, that'd be a real serious competition as to which one's the best. Be a lot of arguments over it. That'd be like arguing about New Haven. What's the best pizza in New Haven, Connecticut? I mean, guys, you know, people go to war over, you know, New Haven pizza, believe me. There's endless arguments that go on to this day. A stop sign up here. Lower Boulevard to my right. Hall Avenue to my left. Glenwood Avenue back there to my left. Okay, this is going to put me back onto Pequot, but I'm going to, what is this? Admiral Drive. I don't know what this does for me, but okay, Billard Road, dead end. I don't know if this is a dead end. I hope not. But I'm going to work my way over to... I got to cover Bank Street, obviously. I mean, that is of extreme importance. Actually, if this leads me to the Lighthouse Inn, I want to get a look at that. Yeah. Okay, straight ahead says dead end. So let me see. Can I take a left here? Yeah, let me take a left. I want to, again, if I can frame up the Lighthouse Inn. It's been redone. Somebody purchased it and rehabilitated the whole restaurant and Lighthouse Inn. lot of cars. There could be an event, there could be a party or something. This is abnormally crowded. I believe if I take a right on Guthrie, that's going to put me looking directly at, I hope I'm right here, yeah, the Lighthouse Inn. You'll see it way in the distance, white with blue, dark blue awnings. I'll approach it slowly. But there is the famed Lighthouse Inn. It's a glorious, very important structure. Let me get right up against this stop sign. I think with SuperView I can get it all in. Let me lock in on that thing for a second. All right, I'm glad we got it. But yeah, this car is just parked everywhere you look. So let me see if I can, well, there's a dead end. I'm trying to figure out the best way to, I could go back on Pequot. I'm not sure where these particular streets bring me. Maybe I'll take a little cruise and just see what we have here. Rayburn Street to my right. Yeah, so there's a large neighborhood back here. And this is walking distance to Pequot Avenue. I don't know if these folks are part of the association down there. I don't know. All right, so that was Parkway South. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's just hard for me to get my bearings as to what's going to lead me out of here, but at least we'll be able to get a look at some of these beautiful homes in this neighborhood in the heart of New London, Connecticut. All right, this looks significant right here. What have we here? It's tough for me to see around these cars that are parked there. Okay. I think I'm heading back down to Pequot. It might be... I'll do some more of Pequot. I mean, it'll be in the opposite direction, but I'll jump on a road to bring me. I want to cover the entirety of Bank Street. Way off in the distance is the General Dynamics Corporation, where they build submarines. They build the finest submarines in the world on the planet. An electric boat. So we're on Pequot. I'll just take, what is this? Westermere Terrace, just to grab something different. Just to grab some different side streets. At SuperView, super wide. This is not going to be my default recording technique, but I did SuperView. A lot of people liked it, some hated it. which is understandable. And I figured, I should do another heavily populated area like New London, or a densely populated little city. Let me take a right. This will probably bring me back down to Pequot, but we might be able to get a decent view of the water from up here. Possibly, I don't know. We'll find out. Well, I can see some of the water down there, but yeah, General Dynamics and way across the river. It's quite far in the distance. Okay, well, there you go. Let me pull over for a minute and kind of point this. I mean, it's so wide, I really don't have to point it. You should be able to see General Dynamics. That's one of the newer, I don't know what it is technically, but that's where they build some of the larger submarines. I don't know if they're Tridents or, I'm not up on my my submarine, the models. Was it the Sea Wolf or something? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not. It's not that I'm wrong. It's just that I don't know. I remember the Trident being a big deal. And I throw the word Sea Wolf out there. I'm not sure about that. I'm back on Pequot Avenue. All right, we'll take another cruise by Fred Shanty. So, right there, Fred Shanty, famous since 1972. That's been there a long, long time. Wow, this guy backed in. Rose City Property Maintenance backed in to Fred Shanty. That is a killer move right there. All right, let me take a left onto Harris Road. No one knows which one should go first. Okay, I know how it's going to work. There we go. That was done in a fair and equitable manner. So off of Pequot. Remember, I got to get Bank. I got to get State Street before my camera dies on me. Harris Road. All right, let me take a right. Man, cars, it's a little tricky because cars are parked, on the main road, and it's not easy seeing around them. So I'm back on Montauk. I think I want to get up a little higher so I can do the full. Let me take a left on School Street. That's the way they named the streets back in the old days. If they build a school, they name the street School Street. Everybody knows where to go if they want to get to school. All right, now, this is going to bring me to probably Ocean Avenue, I'm guessing. I hope so. And then I can kind of wind my way back to Bank. We'll do super wide view of Bank Street. I get the Recovery Room restaurant to my right. It's a kind of a important landmark. Okay, good. Next stop, Bank Street. (2:23 p.m.) Ocean Avenue to Bank. Then I'll get on all the way down into Bank Street. I'll get on to state. We'll drive up there. And at that point, I'll do a little bit of thinking about where I'm going to go after that. I mean, again, I do have some time constraints here. Okay. Got a red light. Let's take a breather. There is a sign to the right of me. Art Improvements Painting. Interior, exterior painting, drywall, power washing, residential and commercial. Free estimates, licensed and insured. As we approach Bank Street, Linden Street to my right, Squire Street to my right, we got a green light. Good Samaritan, letting the person go. Excellent. All right, approaching Bank Street. Another red light, so we're going to have to wait a little bit, but the minute this Nealon Funeral Home to my right there, Nealon Funeral Home. The minute I turn right, I'll be on Bank Street. New York license plate in front of us, the Empire State. Person is driving a Toyota Highlander XLE with all-wheel drive that was apparently purchased at Penn Toyota. No turn on red. There is a sign up there indicating there is no turn on red. So, I mean, I can't turn. I'm kind of locked in here, but I notice some people do turn, even though it says no turn on red. I've noticed that quite a bit. We're on Bank Street. And I'm going to cruise down Bank. Hopefully my camera doesn't shut down right in the middle of it, because that's a very, very important street in New London, Connecticut. It's probably the most well-known. Pequot Avenue, Bank Street, Ocean and Montauk. I mean, I've covered them, but boy, Bank is... That's a lot of stories and a lot of history in that particular street. This person seems to be very aggressive in wanting to turn, rather than just calm down and wait an extra, 2.5 seconds. The rushing and all this is not worth it. Oh, good. I get a front, nobody blocking me, so we can look at, what is that? Jasmine Thai Restaurant and Sushi Bar to the right. There's a guy on a skateboard. That's good. We have condominiums, beautiful condominiums to the left. That building, it's not that old. I don't know when it was built, but they're luxury condos. Beautiful view from up there. Right on Bank Street, New London. There's a cafe, I think, in the brick building. That's an older structure. I can't see the name of it. Something House Cafe. It's partially blocked by a telephone pole, but let me see if this thing turns green soon enough. I'll be able to get a glance. At the something house. As we patiently wait for the red light to turn green. There it is. It is Lighthouse Cafe. Grand opening, so they just opened. Lighthouse Cafe, Bank Street, New London. And a beautiful old brick building. Let's just soak it all in right here. I'm going to try to drive a little slower than normal as we absorb all the footage. But boy, I got somebody right on my tail, but yeah, that's their problem. They're going to have to wait it out. So, beautiful architecture, glorious buildings on both sides of the street on Bank Street. There are no more stop signs. Oh, I can slow down, really slow. There's nobody behind me. That person turned. Hygienic galleries, former Roberts Electronics, but hygienic galleries to the left, extremely important historical location. Yeah, there used to be stop signs here. They removed them. Now you just drive straight down. And there's that beautiful statue that's been there for so many decades. I'm going to turn left onto State Street. Green light. Big UBS building right in front of us there. More modern architecture, but I do like that building. I'm not a big well, I can't say that. I do like a lot of modern architecture, but I don't like cheesy prefab buildings that are thrown up. I'm talking serious modern. This is State Street. There was a church on the right-hand side there at this stop sign. To the right, I'm not going to, at this stoplight, to the right-hand side there you can see it collapsed. The church just caved in. Steeple gave away and just the whole thing. But look at the beautiful buildings in here. That's why I highly recommend people come down here and get out of the vehicle and walk around. Guard Art Center is on the right up here. One of the nicest theaters in, I would say, New England. It's beautiful. A lot of very famous performances in that building. In front of us, that courthouse is built in 1784. It's a glorious building to view with the naked eye, like I'm lucky enough to be able to do right now with this super wide view on this camera. So I'm first in line, no car in front of me, so we got a really, really good view. I'm not turning because it's a no turn on red situation. But we can just enjoy the view right now. There's some people walking in front of the building right now, so for scale you can see the size of the building. Let me take a left. Fiddlehead's Food Co-op on the left. Tony D's Italian restaurant also to the left. Biles Memorial Home over there, that brick building. It's another church steeple you can see in the distance. I'll cruise around a little bit more, and then I'm going to have to head back at some point. See, I don't have an arrow. I have to let this person go. I'm on Broad Street. That's another significant street in New London. Let me work my way down the freshly paved Broad Street. I mean, this pavement was put down, I would say, this year, recently. I would say within weeks, days maybe. It's a nice park to the right. I don't know the name of the park. Williams Park. Okay, I got to glance at a sign. So that's Williams Park. Back there to the right. On Broad Street. Taking my time, cruising. Very slowly. Ooh, some glass back there in the road. I'm not thrilled about that. W.B. Thomas and Northwest Hose Company, City of New London Fire Department, Station number 2 back there to the left. Connecticut Avenue to the left. Still working my way up Broad Street. Camera appears to be recording video. Hopefully that's the case. I've run into a few times where it's appears to be on, but it didn't record any or recorded 5 minutes and then shut down. Very disappointing. Doesn't happen too often, but okay, now we're in the, this is the car capital of New London right here. I mean, if anybody wants to buy a car that lives anywhere near this particular area that I'm at right now, I'm floating around right now, this Coleman Street is the place to come. If you can't find a car down here, good luck. Well, then you're looking for some real specialty situation, because they sell everything down here. You name it, they carry it down here. Ford, Chevy, Subaru, Honda, I forget about it. I'm not even going to BMW, whatever, Audi, I go on and on and on. They even have rare, kind of off the beaten path. Like, for example, I'm coming up to Lotus. Do they really sell Lotus? They sell Lotus. They're like sports, almost like a racing car back there. Still on Broad Street. That's Pizzarama. They've been there forever. Really good pizza. Right on the right. That place right there. There's a big cemetery. You know what? Let me turn into this cemetery. Briefly. I've always wondered. I've been by here a million times. Hopefully I can get in here. Office. I'm just going to cruise around very, very briefly. This is something different. Unfortunately, I did not catch the name of this cemetery. Somebody out there knows. But it's a historic, massive cemetery that covers, I don't know how many acres, but it's huge. And there's one across the street. Whether it's the same part of the same cemetery or not across the street, I don't know that. Beautiful tree. I mean, whoever planned this out, 100 plus years ago, knew what they were doing with these trees and everything. Let me see. I want to get a date on one of these things. 1826, 1813, 1798. So this thing goes way back. All right, I'm not going to do a full comprehensive, but anyways, I've always wanted to drive through here briefly. I've never been in here in my life. This is kind of cool. I mean, for people that are into, history and all this, anything to do with cemeteries and all that, 1700s back there. So that's just a taste of what's going on. I'm going to try to find the name of this thing. There's a big monument out front. I'm hoping you got to be careful. Make sure there's nobody coming. Let me see if I can get a name off the front of this big plaque. Actually, there's just a bunch of names inscribed. What does this say? Cedar Grove Cemetery. That's the name of this thing. Cedar Grove Cemetery. And I'm going to get back out here onto Broad Street, being extremely careful, by the way. Okay. Hamilton Market. Small little market there. Looks really cool. Never been in there, but it looks nice. If I keep going straight, I'm going to end up in Waterfront. I don't want to do that. So let me sweep to my left here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pop into Waterfront. The town line, I just crossed it just now. So I'm very briefly in Waterfront, but I think I'll be in New London in a matter of seconds. So there's that cemetery I mentioned to the right. I'm not sure if it's part of the one on the left or not. I don't know. Cedar Grove on the left. If my memory is accurate. Okay, Jefferson Avenue. That's where we are right now. I think the cemetery on the right is a different... It's not connected with the one on the left. I believe that to be the case. Somebody's turning in there. Let me see if I can read. St. Mary's Cemetery on the right. So, okay, that's St. Mary's. I'm pretty sure. It's kind of faded. I glanced quickly, but it appears to be St. Mary's Cemetery on Jefferson Avenue. Jefferson Avenue, another important New London street. Yeah, they have a rotary in here for folks that haven't been, a roundabout for folks that haven't been down here in a few years. So you got to be cautious. If they go all the way around, I'm going to go right around this thing. Because, you know what I want to do? I want to take a brief cruise over to, if I'm not mistaken, let's see if I'm right. If I can get over this bump right here. And I appear to be accurate. New London High School. Right there in front of us. Nobody in the parking lot. All right, let me line this camera up. Give people watching this video that are eager to see New London High School Multi-Magnet Campus. There's a stiff breeze. You can see those flags. There it is. Let me get real close with this super wide view. A bunch of athletic fields over there to my right, way in the distance. There's a glance at the high school. 2:43 p.m. And the school continues down. I think there's been major renovations and major, I would say, you know, they built other structures. They added on dramatically to this school. That's do not enter down there, so I'm not going to... What is that? Science and technology back there. There's a lot of... Again, I think there's been other buildings that have been added on to that original school. Back on Jefferson Avenue, so I'm gonna start thinking about heading back to Norwich. Obviously, I'll let the video run. Feel free to fast forward, you know, throw it in reverse, shut the thing off, do whatever you want. You got full control of this thing. All right, this brings me back down to, I don't want to do, let me think here. If I was smart, I would go left. Let me go left. Because that, if I go right, it's just going to bring me back to Bank Street, which we've done. And I'll go left here. Off of Jefferson. We'll pick up a little bit of Coleman Street. Right here. And I'm going to start the trek back to Norwich, Connecticut. And I'm going to try to end the video where I started. Whether you stick around for this could be a long one, whether you stick around for the full video, it's up to you. Very busy business district down here. A lot of restaurants. You know, dollar store, and they sell Mercedes-Benz vehicles over here on the left. Chevrolet, Mazda, Toyota. I mean, I can't. It's just Hyundai. It's endless. It's endless. Now, you can come down here and look at the cars. I used to enjoy looking at cars on Sundays, and none of the salesmen come out and hound you. All right, what do we got? Toyota down here. We have Mazda's down here now. So Mazda moved. Barry's Cleaners, right in the middle of all the cars. You got Barry's Cleaners. Whaling City Mazda. Yeah, they used to be located back there a little bit. So Coleman Street's going to come to an end here pretty soon. I'm trying to figure out a creative way to get back. Whoa. That guy on that bicycle, I'm sorry, folks. That's just reckless and brainless. No, I mean, sorry, but you can easily get killed doing what that person on that bicycle did back there. He missed my car behind the back portion of my car by inches. Now, the point of that is what? I don't know. No rational, reasonable person would do that. Perfect. Green light. We're going to take a right onto, that's okay, we're off Coleman. I think this is Bayonet Street, I think. Bayonet Street. This goes by, I think, a National Guard, if I'm not mistaken, coming up here on my left. Let's see. I could be wrong. Let me look. Let me slow down. Yeah, Connecticut National Guard. operates out of that building back there. Bayonet Street is coming to an end. Ooh, blinking red light. Extremely bumpy road right here. That's almost like some kind of a... I mean, if they designed it that way for a, like a fun house or something, I mean, that's one thing, but... This is Briggs Street. Mohegan Avenue. I'm going to take a left here. I'm going to work my way back to Norwich, but in a slightly different manner. Just because I'm recording video, I think. If my camera's actually recording. I don't know. I hope it is. Well, we gotta wait this thing out until we get a green light. There's somebody crossing directly in front of me, a young lady. That's good for optics. We'll get a look at that, how a person looks walking basically 3 feet in front of a super wide view on this camera, 16 millimeter equivalent. This is a long light. Never realized how long it was. And off we go. The building I'm crossing now was built in 1973. This bridge. This particular bridge was built in 1973. We are on Williams Street. What is this? Lyman Allen Art Museum. Let's see if I can get a quick look at this as we head home. I mean, this is temporary Connecticut. There's some sign they might be doing some work up here. Some construction. Yeah, appears to be the case. Anyways, there's the, whoa. There's the Lyman Museum. Something's going on today. Let me see if I can get over on the side and point this thing back at the museum. There's big columns up there. I think they're Ionic, or maybe they could be Doric. I don't know. This is a crowded space. A lot of people up here today. So as I turn the corner here, hopefully with this SuperView, that's a good thing about SuperView. You should be able to absorb the entire Lyman Allen Museum. Beautiful. Yeah, those are Doric columns. I am pretty sure. So I'm glad we got a look at that. Little pit stop to me. Well worth it. But speed bumps, yeah, I'm sure once this construction's done, these roads will be repaved and, the whole thing will be immaculate. Okay. let's head back to Norwich. We'll cruise around a little bit. William Street. We're back on Williams. Let's roll. Speed limit on this street's 25 miles an hour. Interesting. Well, there is a school there, and that kind of makes sense. Probably if there wasn't, it'd probably be 40 miles an hour. There is another bike lane to the right. Significant speed bump right here. Connecticut College I don't know how to pronounce that. Arboretum? Liquor permit request. I don't know what's... I mean, that's a college. I don't know what the deal with that liquor permit is, but... Alright. Gallows Lane, if I took a left. Well, we're going to stick with Williams Street right now. 2:55 p.m. All right, I'm crossing into Waterfront right now, incorporated 1801. That's what it said on that green sign back there. I got to keep my eyes open. There's a sign back there that says deer. And they will occasionally run across the street or the road in front of you, and that can be very dangerous. I am now on Old Norwich Road. Signs telling me there is a road work ahead with a one-lane road ahead. I mean, I'm not seeing that. I think being a Sunday, there is no road work on this stretch right here, so we'll just keep driving down Old Norwich Road. Our Lady of Perpetual Help Church back there to my right. Milton Road if I took a left. Uncas Avenue if I took a right. Porter Street if I took a right. Significant hill right here. Again, another sign, road work ahead. Seems to be an abandoned structure to my left. There's a big, I don't know if it's a pond to my right. School, 20 miles per hour, okay. Yeah, there is a big school up there. What is it? Let me drive up and take a look at the school. Dead End. This is another one of these. Wow, is this a... I don't see a name on it. I don't know if it's a... school is actually functional, or... I gotta turn around here. I'm glad I got the super wide. That's one thing with the super wide. It may distort, but boy, I think I got that whole school in there right now. It's backlit, but still. Okay, maybe, yeah, good. We can get a look at that. I don't know if it's a pond, but that's water. It could come off the Thames River, maybe. I'm not sure. This house in front of us is direct waterfront property. Again, another tricky little spot to get out of. Some really old colonial homes down in this area as well. Two Greeks Pizza, and they deliver back there. Okay, United States Post Office, Quaker Hill. So we're in Quaker Hill right now. Still on Old Norwich Road, so that's Scotch Cap Road to my right. There's another nice church, Quaker Hill something church. There's a church back there, Quaker Hill, maybe congregation, I'm not sure, but it's back there. On my left. Hardwick Road back there. I'm trying to name some of these roads. Rosemary Lane to the right. Laurel Glen Road, dead end to the left. Occasionally I will mix up left and right. I'll say right when I meant left. It's just, that happens because I'm driving, what is this, Cinderella Lane to my left. It's a dead end. Interesting name for a street, Cinderella Lane. But occasionally I notice some of my videos, it's rare, but I'll say on the right is a special certain kind of building. It'll actually be my left. I mean, I kind of attribute that to, okay, I got to keep my eyes open here. I attribute that to, now which way should I be going? Whoa, this is tricky. I attribute that to just the quickness and the everything's happening so fast. I mean, I'm throwing out names of roads and streets and this and that and miles per hour, temperatures, and information just washing over me. I will, on extremely rare occasions, make mistakes, like saying left when I meant right or right when I meant left, and other mistakes. I make, errors and say things that are incorrect quite often. And I make no apologies for it. It's just reality. I think anybody in this situation would do the same. What is it? 82 degrees, 3:02 p.m. What is my car? My car says 88. I'm going with the 82 back there at that bank. So we're cruising, let's see, right now there is a sign coming up here. Okay, we're crossing into Montville, incorporated 1786. We're in Montville right now. We're back on Norwich, New London Turnpike, Montville Funeral Home of Church and Allen back there to my right. Montville is built up quite a bit if you haven't been back here in 25, 30 years. A lot of this stuff is a lot of new buildings back there. Although the Brown Derby, again, it stands tall, still there, looks the same. Whatever they're doing it right. Because if they weren't doing it right, they would have went out of business. So they have a formula that works. As I cruise back on Norwich and London Turnpike to Norwich, Connecticut. Straight is Norwich, left is Montville, left is also Oakdale. There's a project that's been going on for years in front of me. It's a very steep hill. I can see a kind of a dirt road up there. If anybody knows what's going on up there, please let me know. I've had tons of people ask me, and I have no idea. It's on the left. I'm going over Oxaboxo Brook right now. We're cruising back to Norwich. And we're doing it on the Norwich New London Turnpike. We got a Dollar General on our right, the ubiquitous Dollar General. I mean, there's more dollar stores and Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, whatever, just endless everywhere you go. Montville Public Safety Building down here to my right, Montville Police. And we're going by that prison. I forget the name of it. The name has changed over the years, so I don't know the name of it. Department of Corrections, something. Corrigan. That is Corrigan back there. People slamming on the brakes in front of me. Wow. Gristmill Plaza to the right. That wasn't there that many, handful of years ago. There was nothing there. Just trees and a wooded area. Corrigan Prison. I'm glad I saw that. So we're back on the freshly paved New London Turnpike, Montville area. Being very, very mindful of the raised manhole covers. It was worse the last time I drove on this particular road, but it's not something you can ignore. All right, we just blew past that gentleman back there in the Subaru. Route 32. As the wind picks up. Oh, the red lights are turning green for me. Everything. We're firing on all cylinders, guys. Mohegan Tribe Wigwam Festival up there at the high school. All right, now we get into our tricky little territory with the manhole covers. This is where they start popping up. Okay. And they're kind of hard, a little bit more difficult to see this time around because they're blended better with the road. Last time it was very obvious. They were sticking up another couple inches, actually. I mean, if you went over them at a decent rate of speed, I guarantee you would set your car out of alignment, no question about that. I'm heading home, but you know something? I'm not going to get on 395. I'm going to go straight all the way down West Thames Street. They've been demolishing the Marina Towers building. The last time I drove by there, while I was recording video, it was literally half gone. Let me cruise by and see how much progress they made from that point. That whole thing could be down. I just got my fingers crossed that I'm actually still recording video here. I don't know that I am. There's no way for me to know for sure. Okay, so the left portion of the road, the oncoming traffic, that road over there is at its full height. Okay, maybe this... I might be on... I mean, obviously the lines aren't painted yet, but... So they're making significant progress. Okay, so some of the manholes back there, I just went over one. It was silky smooth. So this portion of the road is done. Obviously they have to, you know, line painting and all this type of thing. And maybe some fine tuning. I don't know, you know. But this, the main, most significant part of the road is up in this area is completed. So let me work my way down to Marina Towers. I'm heading back to kind of the Norwich... No, I mean, not kind of. I'm heading back to the Norwich town section of Norwich. Near, I don't know, Shell gas station or wherever I kick this video into gear. And that's where I'm going to shut things down. But if I can get a glance at that Marina Tower building. All right, so we're in Norwich right now. There's a sign back there indicated that we just passed into Norwich. And this is West Thames Street, super wide view. Let's grab a little extra footage as we work our way back. Great Oak Pizza to the right. They have superb food in that little restaurant back there. There's booths. There's plenty of room to sit down in there. You obviously takeout is a very strong option that they offer there. I got a Jaguar in front of me. So we did New London. I wanted to do New London, assuming this camera recorded video. And I got done what I wanted to do, super wide view, 2.7K, 60 frames per second. It just works better. 60 frames per second, in my opinion. And I've tested everything under the sun. When driving, looks better. I can actually use 60 frames per second to make slow motion portions of this video, and they would be really silky smooth. Obviously, I'm not going to do that, but Shipping Street to my right back there. Very important. Historically important street in Norwich. Engine number 6. Pizza parlor over there. They, a fire engine used to run out of that building. And that's why they call it engine number 6. There's a lot of really nice homes on West Thames Street. Date back to the 1800s, many of them. So we're approaching slowly but surely approaching Marina Towers, soon to be a vacant lot. I believe they have plans for that area. But let's see how much progress they made. I mean, for anybody that's from Norwich, you know, you drive by it every few days or whatever. All right, off in the distance, I got a glance. I saw some of it's still standing. Let me take a look around this. All right, well, they got more done. I mean, there's definitely more than half of it's gone. I'd say 2/3 of that. I'm going to pull right into that parking lot if I can. I can get a good view. I mean, this is, again, super wide. So, all right, the building. Oh yeah, it's 2/3 of it are gone. I'm obviously estimating. Okay, I'm going to turn right. Oh, the Jaguar is turning in the same location. Wow, man, oh man. Oof. Yeah, a lot more of that building is gone. Maybe 3/4 of the building. I'm saying 2/3. It's 2/3, 3/4. A significant portion of that building is no longer standing. There's always a lot of cars down here lately. That's good. I'm glad to see, you know, this marina much more active. It's under new ownership. Some people bought this marina, and they're fixing things up, and it's looking beautiful. So let me get over here and point this camera at that right in front of us, right there. Okay, I got super wide, but I still want to swing over a little bit. Right there. Let's grab that. I mean, it's almost gone. I mean, I'm talking, you're close to the road, so now things are getting, you know, dangerous. So I'm sure those guys know what they're doing, that are the demolition crew. They'll take that and probably block off traffic for half an hour while they just pull back the end of the building that's right against the road. But I would say today's Sunday, by the end of the week, that building should be gone. And, you know, the actual main structure, as far as the debris and the foundation, that can take a little extra time there to get things fine-tuned, where it's, you know, you look at it in the building, you would never know there was ever a building there. That'll take a little extra time. But I think if things proceed accordingly, by the end of the week, that building is 100% gone. I'm basically just waiting for a red light here to turn green, and I'm going to get on Washington Street and work my way back to Norwich town. All right, the light is green. Let's hope we make it. We don't want to sit here forever. I mean, we got to get moving. All right, Washington Street, super wide. Super wide view. We'll just soak up the ambiance and the mood and the vibe thrown off by historic Washington Street. Person in front of me is turning onto Sturtevant Avenue. Let's forge ahead. Brothers of Joseph congregation to my right back there. SuperView should have picked that up real good. Chelsea Parade to the right. Rose Arts Festival has been there for many, many decades, and they hold it every summer. It's a beautiful area just to walk around. I don't know how wide that camera is, but that cement thing used to be a water trough. It was built in 1889. Horses used to drink water out of that as they were pulling carriages and different, whatever horses were used for back then. Okay, by the way, we're into the Norwich town area. We just crossed the threshold into Norwich town. But yeah, that's a pretty cool artifact that's been around Norwich since, the late 1800s. Back there, Arnold Place, Benedict Arnold grew up. I don't know if he grew up, he lived in a house. The original house, his original home was either burned to the ground or demolished or whatever. But it was located on that street back there. $3:21 p.m. right now. I'm on Town Street. Norwich Town section of Norwich, Connecticut. I hope you're watching this movie, this video, and it's like, the year, I don't know, 400 years into the future. And you're looking around at everything in Norwich and the cars and the buildings and everything. That gas station on my left, that's not going to be there. That bank, there will be no more banks. Everything's going to be different. There's not going to be any more fossil fuels and things like that. This truck in front of me, there's not going to be trucks like that around 400 years from now. It's all going to be different. But you can watch this video, see what things were like back in the old days. There's that really beautiful church, historic First Congregational Church. Meeting House Rock, right there to the right-hand side. I got a video on that. I took a walk up there on the ground. I filmed it, or, video, recorded video. You can't say film because there's no film. You can't say videotaped it because there's no videotape. You have to say recorded video. I guess you can say whatever you want. People get the idea, but at some point in the future, when somebody says film, I'm filming something, they probably won't get the reference. I am cruising towards the end of this video on West Town Street. But we got another red light to contend with here as we kind of camp in behind this Honda Pilot. As I kind of look at my camera to see if I can see the tally light blinking on and off, and I can't, but that means nothing because the sun shines on it. It's almost impossible to see from this distance. Covered a lot of territory today. A lot of New London. A little bonus glance at a few things here and there, including some, I don't know, schools and Marina Tower in Norwich. But once this thing turns green, I'll get up the road a little bit here, and I think that'll be it. Hey, listen, folks. Thank you for coming along on this ride with me. I appreciate it.